So in the introduction to GLSL, I introduced you to GLSL Sandbox, and that's a good website for getting started and getting an idea about what shaders can do. But if you want to get a little bit more serious, you'll probably want to head over to Shadertoy and make an account and take a look through some of the examples they have there. Like for example, this one here, Abstract Mod. You can actually see that in GLSL Sandbox. The difference is Shadertoy has a search feature, which is really cool. So you can see what I've been searching for: flare, terminator, eye, glow, laser, beach. So these were just things that I thought would look cool. There's a really nice example if you search for terminator. It's even got some music behind it. So I'll play it now. Just you know, it might get you inspired to create your own, but as you can see, this is absolutely incredible. I'm sorry if the sound quality is bad, but you should go head over to Shadertoy yourself and check it out. It's an absolute masterpiece. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about how this works. So it's exactly the same as GLSL Sandbox in that you've got, I mean, in the way that the shaders are set up. It uses basically the same code, except it's got these interesting things here. So these are channels, and the channels have like a limited supply of textures. As you can see, cube maps, volumes, videos. So these are all limited, and that's probably so that they don't get people, going absolutely crazy making, it's good that they've limited it so that, because the idea behind this is that you create the best thing out of a limited supply of things, if that makes sense. And it also has shader inputs, and these are automatically provided to your shader. So if you need a timer, it's simply iTime. GLSL Sandbox has a similar thing. I think it's called something different though. Uniform just time, and I believe they're automatically supplied as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they are. So yeah, you've got all sorts of useful inputs there that you don't have to worry about yourself. You can simply provide them inside the shader, and yeah, I mean it's all the same code. It updates in real time as well. So if you wanted to say edit something here, I don't know, maybe I could go times, I don't know what this will do, we'll probably screw everything up, but if I go times vec41, hit play, it hasn't changed anything, but you can, I'll try 0, I'm not sure if that makes everything disappear obviously, because 0 times anything is 0, so the alpha value is going to 0. So, and the community is absolutely fantastic. I actually signed up only about a week ago. I added a couple of shaders that I had been inspired to make from watching. I'm a big fan of the YouTube website Numberphile, and I basically saw some examples here. The first one I made was a seed scatter example, and this basically mathematically shows you how seeds are scattered in nature, and you can make that and you can animate that from the most efficient way, which is the golden ratio, to other ways that are possible but obviously least efficient, and it makes this beautiful pattern. Okay, and I added this, and seriously, like the first day I added it, I got some nice tips from this guy here, who is an absolute genius. I'm not sure, Fabrice Neyret, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. He's got some amazing shaders, and he gave me a few tips, straight away. So it's got to be one of the best communities I've ever seen. That's awesome. And so the tips, I implemented them, and my shader looks a lot better now. It's incredible that level of support, I also made a second one, which is a ghost transparency, which is when apparently it's called glass patterns. I didn't know that, and the same guy has told me that it's glass patterns. And another guy has given me some other tips, so the community's amazing. But the idea behind this, just to let you know, is if you put two checkered transparencies over each other and then you turn them slowly, they create some really beautiful patterns. It's very simple but very effective, and also comes from the Numberphile website, freaky dot patterns. You can look that up. It's here as well. I'll actually share these shaders in the description so you can check them out as well. So I highly recommend Shadertoy. It's basically an amazing community with some amazing examples, some absolute masterpieces, like just mind-blowing how clever some of the content here is. I'll show you one last example, which is probably the most famous shader of all time. It's the famous snail. And it's written by a guy, I'm sorry, I'll screw up his name, but basically he goes by the username IQ. And you won't believe that this is actually all written by a shader. It's animated. It looks like a real snail. It looks like a real snail in a real leaf. It's incredible. And he's used these channels, so limited supply of things, to create an absolute masterpiece. So this is a real gem of a website on the internet. Incredible. So I encourage anybody who, even if you're not sure, just go on there, search for something cool. Maybe just think of something like I thought of beach, for example, but you could think of something like, I don't know, snow, for example. Let's say that it's a hot day outside, and you want to look at some snow. There's some beautiful examples, as you see. I mean, look at this, planet Earth. I mean, that's the most amazing looking snowfall I've ever seen. And this is stuff that you probably would struggle to do on an HTML canvas. It's like a next level up. Anyway, you can tell I'm very passionate about this. So that's a good introduction to Shadertoy, I think. So thank you for watching, and see you next time.